Hello, Scorpio. The funny thing is, when I was like pre-shuffling your cards, I was making sure that my computer was recording because it's been acting kind of crazy. But anywho, the thing I thought was interesting, and I don't know if this has any relevance to you, but prior to turning the camera on, and I was like kind of trying to get in tune, I kept saying Capricorn. And I've been to Capricorn's reading, so I don't know if a Capricorn has some relevance to you guys, but I legit almost turned on the camera and started calling you guys Capricorns. So, just sharing it with you. But anywho, welcome to your November 2018 love reading. I apologize for the delay in you guys' readings, the last three. It's Scorpio, Aries, and I forgot who the last person is. Sagittarius. Yes. I apologize for the delay, but I had to get a handle on my personal readings to kind of get those down so people wouldn't be waiting for too long. So, had to neglect the channel for a second, but we're back in business. And what's not or whatever. So, anywho, we're doing things the same but slightly different. I'm going to start with my soul card deck, and I'm going to pick 3 cards to assist you guys in receiving your own intuitive messages from Spirit for the month of November. So when I show you the card, the first thing that pops in your mind, whether it be, fix my hood, see me being all cool and stuff. But anyway, this thing cost me $9, BTW. But anyway, whatever pops into your mind first, whether it's a word, color, sentence, what have you, grab a pen and a piece of paper or a notebook you don't think you'll get rid of before the end of November and write that down. And I feel like these messages are going to have a relevance to you guys before the end of the month. So, Spirit, please give us clear and direct guidance for my Scorpios to give them intuitive messages for the month of November. And I won't interpret these. I'm just going to show them to you. And the first thing that pops into your mind is your message. So clear and direct guidance for my Scorpios, please, Spirit. Okay, I don't think I've ever gotten these before. Okay. That's interesting. Alright. I don't know why I feel like this should be sideways. Okay. So, this is your first card. This is your second. And this is your third. So whatever messages pop up to you, those are your messages for the month of November. So we're going to jump right into you guys' love reading, where we're going to look at Scorpio as well as the crosswatcher for the month of November. And then after that, I'm bringing back the Dice of Resonance. For those of you who are new subscribers, welcome. And you guys probably don't know what the Dice of Resonance is, but it's an art project that I did some months ago where on Dice, I wrote the 12 zodiac signs, different roles people can play in your life, as well as sun, moon, or rising as a signifier. And I also added an additional one to where you can ask a yes or no question at the end of the reading. I shake them up and toss them out, and however they fall, they fall. I don't interpret those at all. It's just however it resonates with you, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be in relation to the reading. And even the question you ask doesn't necessarily have to be in relation to the reading. But the answers that you can get for the yes or no die is yeses, nos, or time-sensitive answers. And in the event that a time-sensitive answer comes out, you would take that as a yes in the time frame in which that would happen. So we're going to ask Spirit to give you clear and direct guidance for my Scorpios for the month of November. Please, Spirit, anything that they need to know that will assist them in manifesting their highest good. Anything that they need to know that has been of some trouble to them. Anything that they've been thinking heavily about, I ask that those energies are revealed in this reading. And that we're able to offer Scorpios as well as their cross-watchers information and advice that will be in their highest good and will assist them on the unfolding of their path, Holy Spirit. I thank you in advance Whoa. Whoa. I don't know what to do with this. I'm not going to consider these in the reading, but I'm going to tell you what they are. So 3 cards fell out. Let your friends help you. It says ask for and accept support from others. The next card is codependency, and it says addictions are affecting your romantic life. And this, I don't read these in reverse, but I always take notice of when they are. It says keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. With it coming out in the reverse, I would assume that you're not keeping an open mind. Right? Letting your friends help you, I look at that more or less as needing an objective standpoint. Because I feel like you've been kind of mulling over some stuff in your head. And not having another person to, you know, to kind of express that with, the only perception that you have is your own. So I feel like whatever it is you guys have been thinking about heavily, you would want to go to someone that you trust to be able to kind of express yourself, to see if they can give you an alternative viewpoint. But I do feel like if they're, whether you're single or in a couple, the relationship you're in or your relationship history has been interlaced with codependency issues, whether it's you being the enabler of a person with an addiction, you having an actual addiction, or being like emotionally dependent upon another person, and then express your love falls out. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. And then not keeping an open mind, it could be a little bit of like being shell-shocked a tad bit, because that was the history in relationship. There may be someone that you're seeing or dating, and you're kind of holding back from opening up to them just because of kind of like past history and not wanting to relive that. But needing to, you know, probably talk to your friends to get that objective view, to see if you're just kind of projecting past experience onto this person and going ahead and expressing yourself to them. So there's a little mini oracle read that you guys got there. So Spirit, let me get 2 cards. First card for Scorpio, the second card for their crosswatcher, or the person that they're connecting with in the month of November. Please, Spirit. None of this funny business. First card. First card, Scorpio. Second card, okay, so Scorpio. Scorpio, why are you making my life so complicated? And codependency falls out again. Engagement in reverse. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. There's a block to that. Finances and career, there's a block. Flirt, and then potentially a soulmate relationship. Spirit, I just want 2 cards, yeah. That's all I want. So codependency is legit an issue here. That's legit something that's affecting your love life, seeing that falling out twice. Out of all of the cards that have fallen out thus far, it's the second time that that one did. Spirit, thank you. Well, you still got 2 cards. First cards for Scorpio are you deserve love and getting to know each other. You guys are getting me on the cusp of probably one of the greatest revelations I've had in my life in a very long time. I got like a super, super dope, great epiphany today that I still need to sort through myself. Give your relationship a chance for your crosswatcher. Work on your partnership. This is intrinsically related to a worth issue. So this is still kind of falling in alignment with what it was that I was sensing in the beginning. There's been issues in the past with Scorpio, or once again, this can go both ways, you know, because some people, I see the first line, just so I don't confuse myself, as Scorpio. The second line is a crosswatcher, but a lot of times, sometimes, you know, the crosswatcher will align with Scorpio, and what I'm reading for the actual sign will resonate with the crosswatcher. But I get the sense that there was a history of codependent relationships because it was an issue with value and worth. You know what I'm saying? So feeling the need to, and the Sagittarius person may also be relevant, but feeling the need to, like, how you showed up in relationships was more or less in the sense of needing to fulfill a need for someone, right? So it's like, if you knew this person needed you, that's how you kind of got your worth and value. So knowing that this person relied on you in a sense, right? But I do get the sense that this is probably like a new relationship where you guys are in the beginning stages, but you may potentially be holding back because of a fear that you know, this may end up like a lot of past situations, you know what I mean? So you're kind of like guarding yourself. But for the person that you're connecting with, they may be sensing a tad bit of doubt. Like, I feel like this person, like, they like you, but they're questioning if you really like them because you're holding back so much. But the reason why you're holding back is because of fear. And I feel they're being told to give the situation a chance because they're kind of backstepping now because they're afraid that you're not as interested as they thought that you were. Right? So there's a level of truth that needs to be spoken here, my dear. It's nothing to be afraid of, you know? We can only relive our paths within reason. The revelation I got today was on karmic lessons. Adjacent possibilities. So first card you have is adjacent possibilities, meaning that the door is open for you to experience something new and different in your life. And you have a plethora of options. So it's not just one option, but many. And that can go for your romantic life as well as just your life in general, your career life or what have you. It's just that you're coming into a season now where many, many doors are opening for you. But it's just all about you making the decision to go in the direction of what you feel is most in alignment with you. Next card we have is the Sun card, which lets me know that regardless of which path you choose, it is going to be in your highest good and it's going to make you very happy. And the next card we have is the Door to Romance in reverse. So what this is kind of letting me know is, in so many ways, things have kind of opened up for you. Things in your life may have been stagnant in the recent path and in the recent past or recent path, however you want to look at it. But you felt like there was a lack thereof of options, right? So now you have an abundance of options and you could have already taken one of those options and things are working out really good for you. But it's like the door to romance is closed based on fears because it's almost like stuff is going so good for me. Me knowing that my Achilles heel is relationships, I am not trying to mess up all this good energy I got going on fooling around with somebody that might break my heart or throw my life completely off track. That's literally the gist that I get here. For your crosswatcher, we have the Goddess of the Moon. We have hostilities in reverse. And we have not walking away. So for the crosswatcher person, or the Scorpio if you don't resonate with that, I'm more or less feeling that, okay, you guys, I love how these line up like this. You guys in the recent past, or even in your current situation, you're coming into truth about something or someone or about yourself. I'm more feeling it more or less about yourself, seeing that abilities that you have or a different outlook for your life, so to speak. You know what I mean? I feel like for the crosswatcher person, there were issues very similar to what Scorpio dealt or is dealing with that you dealt with in the past. You were very, very defensive because you've been wounded before and you have a history of not walking away from bad situations. So it's more or less like you're feeling renewed in like this new person and the Scorpio person comes into your life and they're symbolic of what it is that you were desiring. So I kind of feel like with you guys, y'all left a relationship in the past that wasn't in your highest good. You stepped into your highest good and kind of healed those wounds of defensiveness and codependency, like staying in something way past its due date. You know what I mean? But I feel like for you guys, there's still kind of, you know, you're kind of going into this optimistically because the Scorpio person is like symbolic or representative of what it is you were kind of like praying for in a sense. You know what I mean? But I kind of feel like them not reciprocating or them not showing back what it is that you want in the sense of like their interest in you. It's kind of resurrecting some of this stuff. So there's a part of you that kind of wants to jet it out of there super duper quick. And it's kind of triggering you to where like this is your mind frame of like, you know, your challenge right now is to not go into complete defense mode and like instantly like kind of run away. But I'm going to go back in and clarify each of these. Spirit, can we clarify why the door to romance is in reverse for Scorpio? Door to romance, Spirit. Why is the door in reverse? There's a block to the door. Why is the door blocked? Another thing that I can sense about this is interesting. Thank you, because this starts my second narrative. The other narrative that I have is if there is a past for Scorpio, if there's experience in the past for Scorpio of being in a history of codependent relationships, and there's somebody that you're dating right now that, and all of this stuff about this whole thing, oh God, wow, that's interesting. Okay. Interesting. Okay. If this is a Scorpio person where in the past you have a history of being in codependent relationships or dating people who are addicts or so on and so forth, whatever the case may be, and you've met a new person, so say if you took some time to be single or if you just got out of something and you're meeting this person that is kind of picturesque, so to speak, or if you have like a lot of suitors or something of the sort, but I really want to stick to it just being one person. And this person has like all of these qualities, similar to what I was kind of saying for the crosswatcher. They have all of these qualities that you want, so to speak. But it's like the relationship isn't kind of getting off the ground. So granted, you just met each other. And the way that you're kind of rationalizing this is, like if the person is like, oh, you know, I'm not ready for a commitment. Or, you know, if they were as blatant of saying like, oh, you know, I feel like we're moving too fast. Or, you know, or if you're like, oh, you know, I want a commitment, and they're like, oh, you know, we just met, like, let's see how things work out. Let's see how things are kind of panning out, so to speak. So the relationship ascending to a higher level, because I'm thinking back to the engagement card that kind of came in the reverse position. It's like dating a person, you're getting to know each other, but it's an extended, long period of getting to know each other, and the relationship is not ascending to a higher level, hence being the reason why the door to romance is closed, right? Is making you feel some type of way in the sense that this person potentially could be kind of like a little emotional manipulator there. So that's like the next scenario that's devoid of what I've said prior to. You know what I'm saying? And the cross watcher person more or less is it's like they're looking at, and this is, like I said, another scenario aside from what I've said before, but the cross watcher person also has codependency issues in the sense of like living vicariously through people or something of the sort. And them kind of envisioning you, I don't want to say as like the solution to their problems, but, and I know this is probably not cross watchers that are subscribed to my channel. Better not be. But seeing you as like an ideal, but it's like, because of them trying to live vicariously through you, it's almost like one of those codependent, energetic, leechy kind of things. Like they want to cling on to you because what you symbolize for them gives them value. You know what I'm saying? So almost like this person doesn't have boundaries at all. You know what I'm saying? They don't have boundaries at all. And they're like clingy. Now that's scenario number 2. Spirit, can I clarify the Goddess of the Moon card, please? Spit it. This is going to be interesting. Like, I just tell this reading is just going to be interesting. Oh. All right. So, for my other cross-watcher people, your Goddess of the Moon card is representing you, or Scorpio, if you resonate with this. And the thing that I'm seeing is that you guys are going through a full-on transformation, or have in the recent past, going into a time where your wishes are fulfilled, because it's clarified by the Healer of the Ages and the Cornucopia card. So it's more or less like you getting, so I feel like this is kind of stepping back to the initial scenario that I was getting. So anyway, it's more or less like going through this major transformation, seeing yourself for all that you are, and seeing a clear pathway to have your wishes fulfilled by you grounding yourself in your authentic truth, right? So this is really like like in the recent past, you guys having like this big, like personal self epiphany, like something that revolutionizes your life in the sense, right? So, that's interesting. So, oh, hostility in reverse is clarified by the 6th chakra with Archangel Metatron. So more or less, okay, and the reason why, yeah, I do kind of feel like this is going back to the first scenario of people. So for those of you who in the past, like when I was talking about the cross watchers before, the whole emotionally manipulative type of situation, for those cross watchers who have gone through this little recent transformation of seeing the truth about yourself and who have kind of had issues in the past with either being codependent yourself or dealing with people that were that way, so to speak, and you're meeting the Scorpio person that's in alignment with what you desire, so to speak, but they're kind of like, you know, acting bad with you, but, you know, because you don't really know what it is that's going on with them or why they're holding back, so to speak. The thing that I see now is you're discerning in how it is that you deal with people. So you used to be overly defensive in a sense of self-protection, but now it's like since you've tuned into like your, well, we could say it in the literal sense of like your chakras, opening up your third eye, so to speak, but being more in tune with spirit and listening to your inner wisdom, there's no need to overly defend yourself because you're discerning of a situation. So this very well could be a person who's dealing with Scorpio and isn't really tripping about how Scorpio is acting because they probably kind of know where they're at with it because they're exhibiting similar behaviors that you're familiar with yourself. But in the event that it's, yeah, I'm going to stop there. I was told to be quiet. And be quiet. And feel kind of pleased, y'all just telling me to just be quiet. Like, all right, dang. Be quiet. Okay. Guess I was being a little too nosy there. Can we clarify the walking away card? So that's all I can leave it at, is the fact that you being in alignment spiritually is how you see the truth through people's actions, because the behavior is similar to behaviors that you've exhibited in the past. So it's almost like not taking it personally. So let's clarify the walking away card, please, Spirit. Tell me to be quiet. Feel kind of played. Y'all in rare form today. Clarify the walking away card, please. Oh, okie dokie, lemon choky. All right, walking away in reverse is clarified by the appreciation card. So here's the deal. I feel like even though Scorpio is kind of dealing with their little stuff right now, oh, okay. Wait a minute. Oh, Lord have mercy. All right. This is turning into another message. So, crosswatcher person, if you are somebody who has gotten in tune with your spirituality, had a big awakening on a spiritual path, blah, 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 you should be able to see through the lack thereof of boundaries, you know what I'm saying, based on your past experience. So like listening to your intuition. Okay, yeah, this is going all the way left. So from a crosswatcher, people who are dealing with a Scorpio person, and this is not for all of my Scorpios. If there's a crosswatcher person that's dealing with a Scorpio person that is the ideal of what it is that you want, but they're prolonging committing to you type of deal, and this can go vice versa. So I won't have so many scenarios. I'll just say that this could go either or, right? So if you're dealing with a person that's not committing to you, right? So the door to romance is closed. So there's no commitment that's happening. You guys are in, like I said, a continuation of getting to know each other. The reason why that door to romance is closed is not because of any excuses that they're giving you for why it is. And I'm not saying this like if you guys like literally just met each other yesterday and you're trying to commit today. That's a little codependent. Signs of a potential little narc there going on. But anyway, this is more or less like an emotional manipulation type of thing, like future faking and trying to sell you a dream. So you stay around right? You're staying around. Come here, dagnabbit. You're staying around with the hopes of receiving this, right? So having happiness, having, a plethora of opportunities of how this could grow into something and wanting to experience this happiness with this person, but that is blocked. The reason why it's blocked is because the person is an emotional manipulator. Now, that is if you are a crosswatcher or you are a Scorpio person. So kind of like however it fits for you, right? So that's the reason why there's no commitment, right? So but the thing that I'm seeing in all of this is that the person that I'm talking about that's dealing with this emotional manipulator, you have the intuitive ability to know what it is that you're dealing with, because one, you've mastered this in the fact that this is how you've shown up in relationships a great deal, right? Where you had zero boundaries, you self-sacrificed a great deal, you were consistently giving the relationship a chance in spite of what the person was doing. So it's like holding on even though you know it is not in your highest good, right? So the thing, like when they told me to be quiet, with Archangel Metatron clarifying the hostilities card, like, because of your past experience and what it is that Spirit is revealing to you intuitively, you can see straight through this if you decide to, right? So if you allow your friends to help you and kind of lay it all out on the table to get like an objective kind of view, you know what I'm saying? And take a step back and really look at this and use like your discernment to see through the situation, you'll see themes in this relationship that you've seen in past situations, right? Now, this is not the same thing for what I was saying initially. For people who it's kind of where this person is like too good to be true, in the sense that you're afraid of reliving the past, right? So it's more or less an unsurety on your part, right? That's not the same group that I'm talking about. So anyway, so this is kind of like a forewarning for somebody, right? So you can see straight through it if you really look, right? Now, what's being called out of how I'm seeing this of like codependency is more or less like saying you know better. Like, you know better. So take a step back and really look at this so you can see the truth about the situation, right? So for others of you, the whole reason why you stay in things past the expiration date, right? The reason why you stick around with people who are prolonging committing to you, right, is because of exactly what you're seeing in this card. She's holding on to this one little rose, which is like your hope for the future. But what's in front of her? A dead garden. So you can look at this more or less like, if we were to take like the Seven of Cups card and think about the person who's looking up at the sky with this big cloud and it's all these cups with all of these opportunities, is being caught in this dream state of all of the possibilities and what could be's and oh wow, right? Holding on to that little glimmer of hope. But all of that, the idealization is blocking what's really in front of you. So if you snapped out of that, tuned back into reality and looked around you, you would see that it's a dead garden, right? So it's not fruitful. Nothing's coming out of it. You're not getting anything out of it. The only thing that you legit have is the hope of this one little rose that you got, right? Now, if you did walk away, like see the truth about this situation, and you actually walked away, you would walk right into something that is extremely abundant and in alignment with what it is that you really want. So the thing is that I'm seeing that there's a history and a theme, and this very well can fall on both sides because we attract what we are. So whether this is the crosswatcher person, whether this is Scorpio, right? We attract into our lives, we attract people into our lives, like whatever vibrational frequency you're on, whatever you're, emitting out into the universe, that's what you're drawing back to you. So even if this resonates with both of you, which I feel like very well could be possible, it's just the sense, and I'm not saying both of you, like both of you are in a relationship with each other and both feeling like this. I mean, like whether this is Scorpio watching or cross watcher watching. But anywho, this is kind of giving you the answer of why it is you hold on and stick in situations that aren't giving you what it is that you really truly want. Like what you feel you really deserve. You know what I'm saying? This is why you hold on in relationships where you're not getting what you deserve, because it's the hope of the future. It's the hope of having your needs met, of like one day things will shift, things will change, and they will come into alignment of what it is that you're desiring, right? But the thing is, a need to be present, to get clear, to look at what it is that's really going on, right? And that's for everyone that I'm talking about, like all the scenarios that I've given. It's the fact of you are equipped to tell whether or not a person is in your highest good or not. So whether it's someone who's holding back from you, Scorpio, or it's you holding back from someone else, you need to use your discernment and your experience to be able to categorize this situation, because this is telling me you are equipped to do so. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to live your life in fear, because in the event, and this is going back to my first tier of people that I started with, this person, they're seeing you, you know, the whole reason why they're giving you a chance is because they see you. They've been through a lot. They're awakened. They're aware. They see why it is that you're being so like, oh, you know what I'm saying? But it's like they're giving you a chance because they understand where you're at, because they've been there. But the thing that they also know, and this is like kind of piggybacking off of the people, like that second group of people, like with the whole codependency thing, this is kind of piggybacking off of this. They're not going to wait around forever because of them loving themselves. So they're giving you the benefit of the doubt right now, because they know that you're a little spooked out like they were at one point in time. And they're giving you an opportunity to kind of come to and see, hey, I really don't mean you any harm. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I see what you're doing. I'm really not trying to hurt you. But if they see that you don't release this and open up, that's when you fall into the category of now it's like, oh, this kind of isn't what I want. You know what I'm saying? Because if you have a person who's done their work, they give you the benefit of the doubt because of the understanding. But if this becomes a thing where you continuously keep holding back from this person, that's you kind of getting a little close to non-committal, emotionally manipulative type of territory, and they're not going to put up with it because they've been there and they've done that. So it's one thing to be scared. It's another when you're terrified to where you can't allow yourself to open up, because this person is willing to open up to you, but they're not going to wait around for you to kind of figure it out. So it's more or less, and like I said, whichever side of the fence that all this falls, because I know this is like a lot of scenarios, y'all, but whatever side of the fence that this falls on, like, in the sense that I get, which is why I feel like they told me to be quiet, is because even though it's a lot of different scenarios, whether you're a crosswatcher or you're a Scorpio, one of them sounds just like you, like it hits. It's like, wow, yeah, that is what's going on. This is what I'm doing. So it's almost like a level of you feeling instant resonance with one of those scenarios that I gave. So just kind of remove the framework of it being either crosswatcher or Scorpio. It's just whichever one of those people that I described that instantly hits you and you're like, this is me. You know what I'm saying? It may be a little more difficult for you to say, oh, this is them. Because this is kind of something I feel like is going to resonate with who it's for. Right? Like, you wouldn't be able to say, oh, yeah, they are, you know, woke. You know what I'm saying? Like, they do see past why. Like, you wouldn't really be able to project it onto another person. But whichever one of these scenarios sounds like you, it's like that's the role that you're playing, and that's how this is kind of playing out, like how the other person is showing up in relation to where you're at. But I'm more or less getting the vibe that whatever the case may be, on either side, both of you kind of know better. If you're the emotional manipulator that's just being a jerk, then you're being a jerk, and you should stop that. But anyway, y'all really gonna have to tell me if this resonates. I done got so many messages. You know what the heck I've said just now. You'd be shocked when I go back and watch this. So anywho, we're going to go ahead and throw out the dice of resonance. So if you want to ask like a yes or no or time sensitive question, I would probably say more of a yes or no question, because if you ask a time sensitive one and a time sensitive one doesn't come up, then yeah. But anywho, if you want to formulate that question, you can pause me and do that now. All right. We have Aries, we have woman or Venus, we have yes, we have crush, and we have Pisces. So however that makes sense to you, my dear, Aries, lady, or Venus, the answer is yes, crush, or Pisces. So however that resonates. But I hope that this made sense, you guys. I have no idea any of the things that I just said, but let me know in the comments what you think. And again, I apologize for delaying you guys' readings. I love your faces, but let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you sooner than later, my dear. Deuces. Let me awkwardly turn the camera off. Awkwardly.